I've really been going through a lot of the emotions of these past few weeks, particularly this past month of July. There really has been a clearing and a deep indication that in terms of archetypes or archetypical energies that we're working with, we had to transverse that cave, the Cancer season, right? The archetype of the crab, all of that which has been holding us back because is the child wounding, that part of us that still gets triggered again and again and again because our needs weren't met, or we have hold a point of view, or we have proudly hold a badge of our story, and we have identified with our stories, and that's very Cancerian. And it's almost like that deep programming that we have just to operate in this society. We have to have an identity, and to have that identity we have to have a story, and we are who we tell ourselves we are. We are who we tell others we are, and then we want to uphold to that story. And we have also been programmed to have these really deep hero journeys in whichever way you are operating, whether you are in that societal game of achieving, succeeding in life through whatever means, whether it's intellectually or through business success or through relationship success or the whole ideal that we have been agreed to act upon. And it's all over. It's all over our media, our movies, our literature. It's everywhere. It's constant, right? Or whether you are in more of the breakaway movements or the wellness industry and the spiritual communities, there's also that carrot. There's also that programming of the hero journey, of how much I have endured life, or how much I have healed my traumas, or how much I have go into my deep soul, or how much I have worked with my shadow, or my light, or how much I have remembered my past lives, and now I know that in this life this is my purpose. All of it, it's just false programming. And while I am saying this, I'm not saying it's bad. It's just untrue. It's just borrowed. It's just acquired. But it has been helpful. And it's unavoidable. It has been unavoidable that we have all gone through some sort of programming, because this is how we are human beings in a society that dictates the rules, dictates the norms, dictates how we relate to each other and what stories we tell, the collective stories we tell each other. From any culture that you're in, we tell each other our cultural collective stories. The stories, the history of our country, the history of our culture, the history of our development, and you name it. All of this is learned. And so to strip that, we have to go back to the what am I rather than who am I and why am I here. Those are really deep philosophical questions, but it lead nowhere. They don't, and they just make us forget something really precious, which is we are here now and we are alive, and we have creative force. Our creative force is incredible. We have created this world together through time and time and time again, and destroyed it and created again, and destroyed it and created again. So we're actually able to sustain ourselves through this life, through this human form. And there's always cycles. So this cycle that's coming in, each time it's like a deeper rinse, a deeper cleanse. And so there's more clarity and more truth. And now as we enter in the the archetype of the lion season, right? From any point of view that you see it, coming from out of the crab and out of that sense of where do I belong to, who am I, what am I supposed to be doing, why I feel stuck, why everything is so deep. We come out into the lion season, which is there's more light, there's more clarity, there's more, we can see clearly. And so one of the key aspects of this new lion season for me, as I tapped into myself, but also the knowledge I acquire from my therapies and from the collective energies, is the time of the chase is over. Time of chase is over. Time of performance is over. And it's interesting because in the lion season, if we think of the archetype of the lion is highly performative, and it goes and chases and hunts and acquires what it wants, what it needs, now. So obviously, that is the energy at play in the old paradigm. But let's say the evolved version of the lion, or a deeper aspect of the lion, there's always going to be performative and look at me, and and that's part of it. That's that's a natural, healthy personality ego that we play as something that we wear on to act on the world, and that's also natural, and that's healthy psyche. We are healthy beings when we know that we are playing in this world, in society, and we're relational, and we're performative, and we play with it. The problem is when we actually identify or get really structured and very rigid about our point of view, or our life, our own identity, that when time comes for us to change and evolve and grow, we can't. We hold on to the past, or we hold on to the ideal of what we are supposed to be doing, and that's when we suffer. We resist change, we resist flow. The deeper aspect of the lion is the heart. This deep knowing that the heart is strong, that the heart is present, that the heart knows how to be, that the power of the heart is more important than the performative act. To simply be in our heart. And our heart is where truth comes through. Our hearts are portals, energetically. Physically, they also keeps us moving and alive, and it pumps all of this life force through our bloodstream. And our hearts are also hold an electromagnetic field, just like the planet itself. So we're constantly broadcasting and receiving energy, emotions, energy in motion, and feelings and desires and visions and clarity. Everything comes from our heart. So the time of fixing and achieving perfection is also over. There is nothing to fix. This society has been obsessed and is obsessive about fixing and achieving perfection. And while there is the positive part of it, which is we always want to be growing and evolving, of course, and that's part of that creative process of making things better, progress, learn, grow. That is the ideal. But when we nitpick and when we obsess with fixing and achieving an unrealistic ideal of perfection in whichever way, we get lost. We get lost, and we get deep into that behavior, and it takes us into control. And control is exactly against the current of growth and life. Life is chaotic. Nature is chaotic. Within its order is chaotic. Chaos and order are hand by hand, is a yin yang. So it's time to be more present into what I am. I don't have to overthink this, right? We are human beings. We are human beings experiencing humanity in this beautiful game of humanness. And we get to choose whatever we want to do with that life, how we want to interact with others. What is it that really moves us? What is it that we really love? What is it that we want to explore? Maybe we don't know, but we want to explore. One thing is very clear: we are creative beings. We are godlike in that respect. We like to create and generate. And yes, we also like to destroy when it's needed and necessary. Sometimes we have to end things, and we have to delete things, and we have to trash things, and we have to clear things. That's also part of the creative force. It is the generating energy and generating life, organizing it, stabilizing it, grow it, and then it has to die, it has to dissolve, we have to destroy it. It's part of nature. Works, operates like that. Nothing grows forever. It's unsustainable. The destruction is unsustainable. An ongoing creative potency without actually landing or grounding anything, it's also unsustainable. So there is this triad of life force that needs to be born, grow, and decay, and that's everywhere. And so can we learn to be more at peace with this simple flow of life? And of course, what I'm saying here, it's really in the personal arena, right? And in that core of who we are, not our behaviors. And I'm not talking about the destructive power that we have let out rampant, and it's out of control. And I'm not gonna go into political or deep social issues here right now, even though the Leo season is also bringing that out. Some of us, some of you are ready to pick your fights and stand up for what you believe needs support, needs change, needs transformation. What no longer goes, and where and when we need to stand strong for those who cannot stand strong. And that's a completely different video here. But today I'm talking about our own inner process, and it all starts within. Truly, yeah. If we start really focusing on being the best versions of ourselves and stepping into our true humanity and humanness in our heart, that is already a big step. And then we can start deciding how we're going to express and act upon the world from this heart, from this clarity, from this truth. And the world is a playground in that respect, and not everybody has to be doing the same thing, because we're 7 billion of us. And so some will need protection, some will need direction, some will need to bring new ways of being, new ideas, new technologies, new architecture, new foundation, everything. Some will need to heal, some need to be healers. See, it's enormous. But just for today, those are my thoughts.